Now, what I am saying, pay attention carefully. Here, can I say explicitly I am calling toString method? Correct, na? D dot toString. Okay. Now, what I will do, guys, up to now, we never done one thing. If we have object, we print d dot x, we call d dot m1, d dot. Every time we use object dot property. But now I will print object only. D matter close. What I am printing? Object. Correct, na? D is a object here. Okay. So I am directly printing what? Object. Now see what will be the output. Getting my point? Okay. So guys, no need to call toString method explicitly. You can call, no issue. But whenever you are printing the object directly, internally, JVM invokes which method? ToString method. Is my point clear? Confirm? So here also you will get same output, guys, same output, no change. Okay. So guys, now here programmer can call toString method explicitly, but whenever we will print object directly, then internally JVM invokes which method? ToString. Is everyone clear on this? That means you can call toString method implicitly, explicitly. Implicitly how? Print object directly. Explicitly, we have to call d dot toString, something like this. Clear on that? Note down this. Online people, done with the copy? Note down this fast. Done with the copy? Online people, now listen what I am saying carefully. Okay. This is how toString works. You can call explicitly or else explicitly. Okay. That means obviously guys we will not go for explicit. Directly print automatically toString will call. Now my concern is guys tell me whenever you are printing some object internally toString method get call. Okay. Is that fellow call equals method or finalize method or get class method or hashcode method or any other method? It is calling only which method? ToString method. That means that method has some special importance. Correct, na? What is that special importance? Okay. Indirectly, my question is, you are getting this output. What is the use of this output, low? Are you getting my point? What is the use of this output? Okay. Tell me, Up to now, we finished section 1, entire OOPS concept, section 2, entire JVM architecture, everything we finished. Do you need this output? Okay. Then what is the real use of toString? Okay. What kind of thing is there? Now, I'll give you one example. Okay. So pay attention carefully. Now, guys, here I'll create a one new class called as employee. What is my class? Employee. Now, guys, you tell me, every employee have a name. Okay. Every employee have ID. Okay, some employee ID will be there. Is everyone clear? Now, let's assume, obviously, to initialize this and to create an employee, we need what? Constructor. So, public employee, here what? String, name, comma, in emp ID. Is everyone clear up to this in a code? Okay. Now, here what? This dot name equals to name. This dot emp ID equals to emp ID. Initialization is done. Now, guys, let me create some employee. Okay, let me create some employee. Observe here. So this is our class and everything. Now let me create some employee. Employee E1 equals to new employee. Let's say you add, and we need what? Name and employee ID. So let's assume first employee name is, let's say, Sunil. Okay, fine. So first employee name is Sunil. Let's say employee ID is something like 1245 something. Okay, this is employee ID. Now, guys, you tell me up to this in a code. Okay, what we done means now I am printing what? Even. Even is my employee. Now I'll copy, take this to where? Paint. Okay. Now, guys, observe this is our class. Now, here at this particular line, okay, what is happening? Huh? Object creation of employee. So internally, can I say E object is create? Who is pointing? E1 is pointing. Okay. And E1 is pointing like this. And what is the data inside this? Huh? Name as Sunil and emp ID as 1245. Now, guys, you tell me inside object what you have this name and employee ID. Can I say this is the content present inside that object? Correct. Now, guys, what question I am asking? Pay attention carefully, apply common sense, and then tell the answer. I'm not expecting answer as per Java and something. Just listen the question carefully. You have an employee object. You print employee object. What is your most natural expectation? You should get content, or you should get that ununderstandable package name dot class name dot something. Huh? What you should get? Content. Yes or no? Online people, correct? So whenever we are printing the object, my expectation is what give me what content present inside that object. But here, what will happen? But here what will happen? We will get that ununderstandable output, that package name, useless output, ununderstandable. Rather than that, we will say useless output, package name dot class name, and that's something. Is there any use? No. Okay. See. So now if I run, okay, total useless output I am getting. Yes or no? Section 3 dot practice and something blah blah blah. Okay. That's the reason. Now, again, I am asking you want this useless, ununderstandable string representation, or you want content present inside the object? Content present inside the object. Now, guys, that means can I say you are not satisfied with the object class to string implementation? Now you have to give your own implementation. What it means? Overriding. Okay, what it means? Overriding. So, guys, now I will override what? To string method. Okay, so override which method? To string method. And now I will say was return. Now you understand why I give this heading. This is a complete declaration of toString. Okay, return was return me employee their name is name, simple concatenation, guys, comma, emp id is emp id. Simple concatenation ever. That's it. Okay, and after that, close bracket. Okay, so this is my output. Now if I run, now tell me, it will automatically say, as soon as I am printing object, internally it will call toString. But now which class toString? Object class toString or employee class toString? Employee class, because obviously priority goes to overridden method. Okay, runtime polymorphism. So is it working fine? A boss, employee, and my employee name is Sunil, and employee ID is 124. Now, not only this, let's assume like this I had three employees, E1, E2, E3. Okay. Let's say first employee Sunil, second employee, let's say Uma, 1249, and let's say next is Nanda. Okay. So 1356, something like this. Okay. Now if I print E1, then E2, then E3. What output I will get? First employee Sunil this, second employee Uma this, third employee Nanda this. Is everyone clear on this? Any confusion? So tell me, can you override toString method? Yes, but when? Then then we will override toString. One person, one person. I'm not getting anyone's answer. Exactly. Don't say when we want to convert object into string. That is its definition. But when it is recommended to override, when we want content present inside the object. Is everyone clear? Okay. So, so yes, Shweta, you can use. So now here, guys, leave it. Here I will make a point. Okay. Whenever programmer wants content present inside object, then it's recommended to override which method? To string method. Is everyone clear? Huh? Okay, recommended to override to string method. Okay, uh, that's it. I guess this already done. Any confusion? Note down this. Here, how many concepts cover? Constructor, inheritance, overriding, this keyword, runtime polymorphism, everything. Shweta, because in a two-string method, I am printing that variable. Na? See, this variable, we are printing. Na? So exactly what information stored there, that information comes. Done with the copy. Online paper. Online paper. Done with the copy. Okay. Super. So, so guys, any confusion up to this? Okay. So, tell me, what is two string? Hmm? It converts object into string. Okay. When you will override two string? When we need content present inside the object. How many ways to invoke two string? What are those? Implicitly or explicitly? Okay, fine. So guys, this is all about first method to string. Okay. Now guys, you tell me this property need for every class or not? Every class, every object. That's the reason they keep this in a object class. Okay. Like this, all other methods, whatever we are having, okay, six methods, what we will discuss, all methods are compulsory to have in every class because they have some importance. Getting my point? So, this is end of first method, to string. Now we will go for second method. Which is second one? Huh? Hash code. So, everyone, everyone, take second method heading public int hash code. So what is method name? Hash code is a method name. Return type int. Okay. Now guys, one obvious thing is what is hash code? Okay. At least ये है क्या? Okay. At least we should know what it is. Okay. Now listen carefully. Hash code means guys whenever you create a object, okay, that object generates in a JVM. In a JVM inside heap area, okay. So whenever that object is created, internally JVM attach one unique identity number. What JVM will attach? Unique ID number, unique identity number for that object. That unique identity number which given to that object is considered as hash code. Is everyone clear on this? Confirm. So what is hash code? Unique identity number given by JVM to every object is considered as hash code. Is my point clearer? So now guys, let me note down definition. You don't copy anything right now. Okay. So the unique identity number given by JVM to every object is called as what? Hash code. Okay. Now definition is simple. Okay, boss. Unique identity number is there. Okay. So come back here. Now Can I say this object also have some unique identity number? Correct. It is a D object. Always have a unique identity number. So let me get D dot hash code. Are you getting? So this 18291647000. It is a unique ID number given for object. Consider as hash code. Now guys tell me, if I create one more object, assume I'll create one more object here, D1. And now I will print what? D1 dot hash code. Now tell me, will two objects will have same unique ID or different unique ID? Huh? Different. If it is same, how we can say it is unique? Okay. So, are you getting? Okay. So, can we say here another point is every new object will have different unique identity or else different unique hash code number. That's it, na? Different unique hash code. One line says indirectly hash code is unique identity number only. How many clear on this? Now, this melodrama is clear. But what is the use of hash code? What is the need of this hash code? Why JVM need that unique identity number? Okay. Are you getting my question, everyone? Now pay attention carefully. Okay. In the future, guys, pay attention on my words. In the future, we are going to deal with one topic called as collection. I guess it is that topic which always say naam to suna hi hoga. Correct, no? Okay, so it is that much popular, collection. Now, in a collection, there are many data structures available. Okay, many different kind of data structures are there in which you can store your data. In that, there are some hashing related data structures. Okay, what are those hashing related data structures? We will deal in collections. Now, don't break your head. Okay, my big point is collection. What it means, that name only suggests. Collection means sometimes, can we say, hey boss, I have a very good movie collection. I have a very beautiful song collection. In Bachelor Life, we have great collection. Still, it is in there. Correct? No? Okay. I don't know about you, but in our room, we are keeping that in a front only. That everyone should see. This is our collection. Huh? Empty bottles. Correct. Okay. So, indirectly, collection means what? Group of objects. Are you getting my point? Group of objects. Now, what happens? Whenever you have group of people, group of objects, then most frequent requirement is searching. Correct? No. You will, if let's say, assume. Now, I'll give one example. Assume Prakash sir class going on. Minimum how many people will be there? 300, 400, 350, something like that. Okay. So, assume we will say 300. Assume 300 people are sitting. One big hall is there and 300 people are sitting. Okay. Now, can I say it is a collection? Group of students. Okay. Now, most frequent operation is what? Searching. I want to search. Hey, this object present in collection or not? This object present, this student present in class or not? Very simple. Are you getting my point? Now, guys, this hash code is designed to develop fastest searching mechanism. 11:30, na? Okay. So, what I'm saying? Ah, so most frequent requirement is what? Searching. So this hash code is designed, guys, to develop fastest searching mechanism. Develop what? Fastest searching mechanism. Okay. So here I will use one line. Hash code is used to implement fastest searching mechanism for hashing related data structures. Okay, in bracket we will say hashing based collections. Okay, is everyone clear on this? Now, how it make fastest search? Okay, see. So, how it make fastest searching mechanism, guys? Assume we take example now. 300 students are there. Assume in a 300 students, I want to search where is Ravi. Assume in 300 students, I want to search what? Where is Ravi? Okay. Then I will apply first approach. Okay. I'll go. Are you Ravi? 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 To every person I'll go and I'll ask, hey, are you Ravi? Are you Ravi? Are you Ravi? Right? Obviously, wherever Ravi is present, okay, then I will get my object, get my student candidate searching over. Now guys tell me, fastest, medium or slowest? Huh? Slowest. If Ravi is first member, fine. Ravi is last member, gone. Correct, no? Now, this kind of searching mechanism is considered as linear. Okay, this is what kind of searching? Linear. One by one we are. Now, second, what we will do, guys, we will say for 300 students, I will divide. One side 150, another side 150. Are you getting my point? Again, let's say I will take first 150 group. There also I will divide again. 75, 75. Again I will divide. Now don't say 75, 37.5. One student I will cut half. Okay. Okay. Taliban rule is not implemented here. Okay. Otherwise, we want equality. Cut. Okay. Some like this we will divide. At the last, in a dividation, one member will be left. Who is that person? Okay. So like that another zone we are sticking. Now, searching is over. But fastest, medium, slowest. Medium. At least for linear it is better. Okay. Now, third approach is, let's assume every student will have a roll number. Is it any chance two students have same roll number? Same like hash code. Two objects never have same hash code. Two new objects. So two new students never have same roll number. I know, hey boss, Ravi roll number is, let's say, 303 something. Okay. I'll say, I'll come, I want to search, I'll come on take. Roll number 303, raise hand. Who will raise hand? Okay, searching. Go. Fastest, medium, slowest. Are you getting the? This fastest search mechanism implement by using what? Hash. Okay, internally they are using hash to identify this object. And that's the reason they give unique identity. How many clear on this? Online people? Okay. Note down this. This is in. Online people, done with the copy? Note down this. Online people, done with the copying? Okay. Now guys, pay attention carefully. Okay. So Monica, I guess you will get same code because when you run again, old object will be destroyed. Na? Whenever you are doing it, run it again, old objects are not there in the memory. Garbage collector destroying, correct? So now guys, my concern is, are you clear up to this in a hash code? Okay. Now listen. Hash code. Can I say one of the best example is it is nothing but a roll number allocated to the student. Can we consider? Now every student have a roll number. Similarly, every object have a hash code. Now my concern is I create two objects. I got two hash codes. But is that hash code is in sequence or is it in random order? Huh? Random order. Now my question is, let's assume for my employee, okay, we have this employee class now. For my employee, boss, I want hash code become employee ID. Possible? Hash code only become what? Employee ID. That is my requirement. But now, employee ID will be in a random or will be in a sequence? Will be in a sequence. Obviously, if I have 100 employee, first employee is 1210, then 1211, 1212, something in a sequence. Na? As a randomly, no one will keep. Okay. So that means, can I say we have to override hash code? We don't satisfy with their implementation. But make sure we have to override in such a manner it should be unique number. Okay. It should not like all object get same hash code. Otherwise, fastest search mechanism become worst search mechanism. All student roll number is 303. Everyone stand up. Correct? No? Okay. So now guys, assume I'll not give like this. So what I'll do now, pay attention carefully. By the way, here I am giving roll number or employee ID. Okay. Now can I say we should not give employee ID? Tell me one thing. Whenever you are registering any detail of any employee, just assume. Let's assume in a any Wipro, new employee join. Will that employee, will that person will ask, this is your employee ID? No, it will be system generate, auto generate. So we should not provide it. So I will remove this, remove this, remove this, remove this. Is my point clearer? Okay, don't give chance. Only enter what? Name. Now tell me, from which number you want to start your employee? Huh? What? 500. Okay. So I will take one number guys in, let's say, employee ID series. What I will take? Employee ID series. And this series I will start from 500. Okay. So this is my 501 object, 502 employee, 503 employee, something like this. Now, what I will make? Okay. So here I will overwrite hash code and return what? Employee ID. So obviously employee ID become hash code. Okay. In matching, no problem. Now my concern is here, can we give EMPID series? Okay. And for our concern, we will give plus plus. How many clear up to this in a logic? Confirm. So this dot means this one. Employee series means this one. No problem. Huh? Okay. Plus plus. That means first, if you don't give plus plus. First employee, ID 500. Second employee, ID 500. Third employee, ID 500. All students have same roll number. 303. Everyone will stand up. Same thing happening here. So what you want? You want increment, na? So now guys, what will happen? First employee, post increment. Okay. So 501. Second time, 502. Third time, 503. Are you getting my point? Okay. Like this, it should work. Okay. Should I run the code? Pakka. 100%. Fastest search become worst search. Low. This is non-static. In every object, it has separate copy. Now, you want this series number. You want every object separate copy or was one copy increment continuously? One copy increment continuously. Who is having one copy? Static. Here, this number must be static. How many clear on this? Okay. If we want object by object separate copy, go for non-static. Every object same copy that should be used. Then static. Okay. Now your code is foolproof. Is it working? 501, 502, 503. Any confusion? Pakka? That means, can you override hash code? Yes. So, here we can say, we can override, hash code when we want unique, we want our own unique ID number in what sequence. Is everyone clear? Any confusion? Not on this. First note on point, then copy program. Done? Okay. Now, you guys don't update that previous program. Write it down separately. Hmm. Nothing else. No. I wanted start from 3rd of month, so I do post. See you tomorrow, everyone.